Leonard Muaka. He was one of our guest speakers today, and he's the chair of CHAUKIDU. I think that he may be ready right now. Professor Muaka, wherever you are, we could give you an opportunity right now to just give us your words right now, Professor.
Okay. Thank you so much, Anne. Thank you. I'm glad to see you and all of you. Sorry, we had some delay. I'm sure I'm clear enough. You can hear me, right? Can you hear me?
We can hear you loud and clear.
Very good. I listened to the gentleman, Mome, talk about the journey of Swahili from Zanzibar. And one of the few things that we can appreciate, there are versions of this whole phenomenon of Swahili coming from one area and dying in another one. My goal here is really to, first of all, thank the Swahili Cultural Institute for whatever they are doing. This is tremendous. And in order for us to be able to partner with them and others, I think it's important to appreciate that we are our goal is to promote Swahili, to showcase Swahili. Kwa hivyo, hamjambo nyote. Okay. People are muted, but I can read their lips, which is critical. Yeah, asante, shukran.
Hatujambo, Professor.
Hatujambo.
Hatujambo.
Okay. Na kunradhi nimechelewa. Nimechelewa kwa sababu ya shughuli ambazo hazingeweza kuepukika. Lakini today I want to really briefly speak about Swahili. As we noticed, Swahili brings to us a rare type of history. It is a language as humble as you can see, comes to us from the east coast of Africa. But because of its way of doing things, or because of the people who speak it, we look at it as a language that didn't impose on other people. It is a language that has, with such humble beginnings, taken on the global stage. A global stage which calls for everybody who cherishes the language to see it grow. And I think that's the main goal here. Africa has about 2,035 languages. These languages are in specific families, but Swahili happens to find itself under the Bantu group or family of languages. In this particular group, there are 500 languages. But if Africa has 2,000 languages, at least more than 2,000, according to Ethnologue, it's actually 2,154. What we have to understand then is this. To be able to communicate, we will need languages that are wider communication. Swahili gets that position, especially when you look at the East and Central. We have other languages like Yoruba. We have other languages like Hausa. And then we have other languages like Arabic in North Africa. Many times we don't count that. But if you consider it to be in Africa, then it's one of the languages that we speak. However, Swahili is this language that has the majority. One, because of how broadly it's spoken, but two, because of the functions it has been given. So when you look at, say, Tanzania and Kenya, it has official role. And these roles are the ones that make it even more appealing to many people. Now, that is not enough. It is also a language that horizontally connects people. So when you see a language that connects people at the horizontal level, but also can attempt to vertically connect people, then you know that language has done a lot. Unfortunately, as I said, it's a humble language. Its humble beginnings show that it's not a language that you force people to speak. And because of that, its growth is not hindered. It is a language, therefore, that is growing and will continue to grow. We believe, as predicted by authors such as Hamisi in 1983, authors like Mgane, who writes in 2015 about the story of Swahili. And then you look at a scholar by the name Alamin Mazrui in 2007, dubs it Swahili Beyond Borders. Then we are seeing a language that has the potential to actually be a language that can make a mark in this world. So we cannot complain about East Africa. It is given, that is its home. It has actually made a lot of progress. But what we have to see now is what is happening. The time is right. Swahili is growing beyond the borders of East Africa. Just a few days ago, Swahili, having been a working language, is now one of the official languages at the African Union. What does that tell you? That it is gaining momentum, it is gaining acceptance, it is a language that people want to use. Today I was just talking to somebody, said, oh, somebody had said the language would be a national language. Yes, sure, but we have to give thanks to our founding fathers. If you think of Kwame Nkrumah of Ghana, you think of Julius Nyerere of Tanzania, you think of people like Mzee Jomo Kenyatta. Their pride in this language is the reason it has gone this far. Their efforts to make sure that we can speak this language is the reason where we are. You remember a person they called Muammar Gaddafi. Muammar Gaddafi had actually begun a special program of taking students to Zanzibar and East Africa in general to learn Swahili. So someday it might actually become the language of the continent. Well, fate did not allow him to see that come to fruition, but we have seen a lot of pressure groups helping this cause. If you go to Kenya, for example, we can call them maybe caucuses or groups of scholars and policymakers who are saying, we have to try and push for this. In Swahili, we call them wakereketwa. These are the people who are making a difference. And we've had, God bless his soul, Magufuli, the late president of Tanzania. What he did was actually to always promote it. You may disagree with him on other issues, but when you think about his role as a Swahili advocate, you can't fault him. He did his part. What we need to do is for the other leaders to do the same. And we have great people. I have seen a young man who has flown to Ethiopia to actually begin a TV or a station that promotes Swahili, so that someday it will be that language that can be spoken by many, many people. Now, I'm talking about Africa. About a week ago, we listened to a scholar from Ghana speaking of how Swahili is taught in Ghana. It's been taught there for 60 years. And that is a good point. And it has over 400 students being taught at any given time. You will find the same in Nigeria. The language is taught. Across the continent, people have been embracing the language. So it's going beyond the East African region where it is believed to have started. And of course, it's true that's where it began. So what I'm trying to say here is this language is poised to go beyond the African continent. Now, move away from the African continent. I want you to look at Asia. I want you to look at Europe. And you will be amazed at how many people are learning this language. There are universities which are in exchange with, have exchange programs with